Hi, I this will actually be my second video of this channel, so well done me. Probably still no one watching, but just in case you are watching, I thought it probably would actually be good to give an explanation of what my channel is actually about. So I have always been, someone who likes keeping fit. Usually done this by cycling, but I've never necessarily trained. I've just always assumed, as I think a lot of people do, if I consistently did something, I'd get better at it. It turns out that's not really true, or at least it is up to a point, but then you rapidly get diminishing returns unless you're able to do a lot of it, which I think most people aren't. Most people can't do more than, say, 10 hours, really. But anyway, I used to do a lot of cycling. I've always had this thing about triathlon. To me, a triathlon is like the ultimate form of fitness. So several years ago, I did a local sprint triathlon. It's like 400-meter swim, 20k or 12-mile cycle, and 5k run. Did try training for it. It's bloody hard. I mean, like, it was so hard to train for three things at once, especially when two of them, frankly, you're not very good at. So I kind of did it. Didn't honestly like the event. It was okay, except for the fact that I was terrible. But like the training, I didn't enjoy. It was so hard. Don't know why, but for some reason last year I decided to enter another triathlon. I think because I've been getting into it, and I'd really thought like one day I want to do an Ironman. That's like the ultimate goal, and it made sense to progress towards that. With let's do a sprint one, done, tick. Olympic one, done now, tick. But we'll get to that for a minute. Half Ironman, full Ironman, then we'll see what we want to do from there. But the point is, I did an Olympic distance triathlon. For those who don't know, that's about 1.5k swim. Usually takes about half an hour for an amateur. A 20-mile cycle, 40k's ish, and then which usually takes between half an hour, I guess, for most people. Then a 10k run, which I know obviously depends on your fitness, but usually between sort of 40 minutes and an hour. I had a pretty bad week reading into it, and honestly, I didn't really train very much. In that I'd been cycling a lot. I tried to do more running, but I don't run massively regularly. The only reason I started running because I had to have surgery on my knee, and it's part of my rehab. So I just tried to cram like 4 weeks of run training in, and honestly, it didn't really work. I felt awful in the week leading up to it, and like so ill. But I made it to the start line, did my best. I couldn't pace the swim. I finished way too slowly. Did an awesome bike, like caught loads of people, even like people on posh triathlon bikes. And then the run was fine, but the course organisers had put a massive hill in the middle, so that really slowed me down. I just wasn't prepared for it. So the run came in about an hour 13 or something. Overall time was like an hour and 14, something like that. I was aiming for a sub 3 hours. That was like my mark of I've completed Olympic triathlon. So finished that. Had a few weeks off. Now it's like right. It's now September now. I'm like, okay, let's train triathlon for a year. Come back, do better next time. Like let's use it as a bit of fire in the belly, as it were. So that's kind of where we are now. I used a bit an AI, ChatGPT, awesome for training plans as long as you question of why you're doing that, why you're doing this. And I thought I could make a bit of a YouTube video about it. Thought it might be interesting to some people. So basically, the schedule is Mondays. We try and do a VO2 max cycling session. So VO2 max, if you're not familiar, is short efforts, usually 2 to 8 minutes, and you repeat them usually between 3 and 5 times over like an hour's workout. Your VO2 max is like it's what you can do for that length of time. Like it should be really hard. It should be like 9 out of 10 effort. So it's not quite a sprint, but it's just under a sprint. It's not maintainable for more than a few minutes. So I tend to do that. This week was 4 sets of 3 minutes at 330 watts if you're using a Bosch smart bike thing, which I was today. So yeah, Monday VO2 max session. I also go swimming on Monday, so I just go down the local pool, usually 7 o'clock, lane swimming. I follow a rough workout of warm up with about 400 meters, set of 100-meter repeats, and I just increase the amount of repeats or reduce the time based on how fit I am at the time and how that's progressing. Tuesdays, I've now joined a run club recently. So it used to be long distance run, which I just from my own, but now I'm joining a run club. I do intervals with them. So last week was 1200 meter repeats, which got PBR. Go me. Wednesday used to be track running session, which it was today as well, actually, because I reverted to that plan, or just like endurance run or endurance cycle, possibly both. Just get that sort of, zone 2. If you're not familiar, zone 2 is like what you can keep a conversation at. So it's just not easy, but not hard. It's just on the edge of feeling difficult. Thursday, threshold session. So threshold, again, if you're not familiar, is what's sometimes known as FTP. So it's what you can theoretically hold for an hour, but most people struggle to hold it for more like 20-30 minutes. So I was doing this week, I've just started a new block where I was doing 5 lots of 5 minutes, I think it was, at 300 watts, which is just over my FTP. Then Friday, I have a bit of an afternoon off on Friday, usually with work, so I do zone 2 sort of endurance cycle. No particular thing, I just try and keep my heart rate to what is my zone 2, which is about between 125, 145 sort of zone. So I have a heart rate monitor, an alarm set on my Garmin Head unit. I recommend Garmin Head units, which beeps at me if I go above or below that. It tells me to speed up or slow down. And I just pedal around for between 3 and 4 hours. I think it was like 3 hours 15 this week, and then I come back from that, needed a snack because I was damn hungry, and then went out straight into a run. That's what's known as a brick session, where you go from one activity straight into another. Just trains that transition, stops you having sort of heavy legs after an after an event. It's just straight into a run, nice and slow, like 10-11 minute miles, like 2 miles. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it's the act of doing it is important. Saturday, long endurance ride usually. So I usually ride out to somewhere, halfway stop at like a nice cafe, have a sandwich, or full English or wherever I feel I need. And then obviously ride back. Sunday, if I've got the energy, long run, then or often do after a day off. Got hiccups now. Yeah, so that's the structure of my week. So yeah, Monday VO2 max, Tuesday and swim, Tuesday threshold cycle, Tuesday VO2 max or threshold run, Wednesday easy endurance sessions, Thursday threshold bike / run, Thursday zone 2 cycle run brick session, Saturday long endurance ride, Sunday either long run or just day off. So that's my basic schedule. We're training at the moment, as I say, for the Bassenthwaite Olympic distance triathlon. That's the main goal of the season. I've also entered 2 smaller sprint triathlons. The one I told you about earlier, I'm entering now, 5-6 years after, the St Anne's Triathlon, and another local one, the Ruby Hall Triathlon. So they're basically just nice little tester events, see how I'm doing, and I've got a couple of months to really work hard for the Bassenthwaite one, which is the main goal of the season. Tell me how I'm training. So I've been doing this training in blocks. I'll probably discuss all that later on if you're interested. All of what I've got from training is learned from having long conversations with ChatGPT and listening to some experts. So I'm not an expert in any way, but I've lived and breathed this for a year now. And if you'd like to learn what I've learned over that year, I'll try and teach you in some fun and hopefully informative videos. This is just all filmed with my phone camera at the moment. I will try and get a proper camera if anybody watches this. So if we get 5 people watch my video, I will buy a proper camera. How about that? Right. See you guys. Bye.